break for love. You know I love to do that to you, baby. Come here, come here. Yeah, let it go. Let me do that for you. I love the way your body feels. I always want to be with you. Yeah, rub up and down next to me. I'm breathless. Break for love. Break.
What's up, family? What's good? How's everybody doing? It's your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe de Paris. Well, I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. Doing the family check-in, being that I haven't gone live in a while, I said, you know what, let me go live just to show the family some love, meaning subscribers. You know, I don't see y'all as subscribers, I see y'all as family. So I figured that I'd at least stop by about an hour, hang out with y'all, just to see how everybody's doing, seeing if your week went well so far. You know, a lot of times you get all kind of content creators who come on here and they just want to sit up here and just got all these topics they want to talk about, or they either beefing with somebody, or you know, they either venting. And very rarely do we just check on our subscribers. Rarely do we ever ask y'all how y'all are doing, what's on y'all mind, is there anything y'all interested in talking about. You know, a lot of us as content creators, sometimes we get so consumed and wrapped up into talking about the things we want to talk about, into going on topics that we feel is important to us. And very rarely do we ask our audience, very rarely do we ask our subscribers, what do y'all think? Is there any topics, anything y'all feel that's on your mind that you would like to address? So basically, that's why I'm going live for about an hour. Basically, this is my family check-in, basically meaning I'm checking in on family, checking in on all of y'all out there, making sure everybody's good, make sure everybody's in their best mental well-being. Maybe you had a long week, maybe you had a stressful week, maybe you're going through something with family, maybe you're going through something with health. So anyway, you know, like I said, you guys are always here for me, and I just want to take an hour to at least be there for all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, nevertheless, I hope everybody's Friday is going good. I see we have Asaya in the building, and we probably have a couple more people who would like to chat, but you're probably driving, or you're busy, you're washing dishes or doing laundry, so you're probably not able to correspond in the chat as much. But I hope everybody's doing well, hope everybody's doing good. You know, it's been a lot going on, these past couple of weeks. All these trials are coming up. We just had the R. Kelly. Now they got the Nipsey Hussle. So, you know, it's a whole lot that's going on right now, y'all. So hopefully everybody's doing good. Everybody's doing well. But I did wanted to. I'm gonna see if I can find it. The one time that I was considering going live, but I had got tied up that day, so I never got around to it. But anyway, this was a story that hit my news feed, and apparently we still have an issue with female correctional officers that are getting swindled by inmates. Yes, it is still becoming an ongoing issue, family. I do not understand for the life of me why people sign up for this type of profession, knowing that they don't have all the necessary tools to not get caught up in bad situations. What's up to everybody entering the chat? What's good? What's good? So I did get this pop up in my news feed, y'all. Prison guard, female prison guard, charged with accepting bribes to allow inmate to receive smuggled items. Federal prison guard faces the possibility of substantial time as an inmate after being charged with multiple counts of accepting bribes to allow smuggled material into a prison. Tiffany Fletcher, age 35, of McRae, Georgia, a corrections officer and counselor at the privately operated McRae Correctional Facility. Basically, she's been charged with 5 counts of bribery, y'all. The charges carries a statutory penalty of up to 15 years in prison if convicted, along with substantial financial penalties and up to 3 years of supervised release after completion of any prison term. So even when she gets out of prison after being caught smuggling items in for inmates, she's still got to pay a lot of substantial fees, penalties. She's gonna have to pay all of that back, and she's still going to be on supervised prison. What's up? Be about peace and pleasure. Blessings to you. Keep in mind, this is a federal offense, ladies and gentlemen, meaning there is no parole in the federal system. It's one thing to have to do time in state, and it's another thing to have to do time in federal. Federal does not bargain. Federal, there's no negotiation. Federal, there's no communication. Whatever they tell you, that's exactly what it's going to be. Federal, there is no 2 for 1. Federal, there is no good behavior. Federal, there is no early release. Anytime you are in the profession of law enforcement and you are caught with the major violation that involves smuggling in contraband, smuggling in items that could be of safety, risk, and hazard to other officers and to other inmates, it's automatic fed time. Automatic fed time. Now, it's one thing to get terminated as a law enforcement officer for mediocre things, not coming into work, too many call outs, or, just petty offenses. But when you commit an offense that jeopardizes the safety of other officers and the safety of other inmates, that's automatic federal time. McRae Correctional Facility in Telfair County is operated by the private corrections company Core Civic and houses male inmates under contract with the Federal Bureaus of Prisons. Okay, so basically, she's a correctional officer that was employed with a private correctional company. I guess they work with the prisons, they work with the facilities, and it is their job and duty to be contracted with the Federal Bureau of Prisons, which means they have to make sure that these inmates are following the policies, the rules and procedures and regulations. As an officer, that was her due diligent task to do. So as described in the indictment, Fletcher is accused of accepting 5 cash bribes totaling $4,390 from June to December 2019, and in return acted in violation of her official duties as a correctional officer by failing to report or investigate prohibited objects being brought into McRae Correctional Facility. What's up, Nerly? What's up, family? So that basically means, as an officer, whenever you are aware of inmates inside the facility that are smuggling in contraband, that are receiving items that have not been authorized, through the prison, through the prison, through the staff, through the chain of command, and you are aware and you have allowed this, you automatically are in violation of your official duties as a correctional officer. Okay. What's up, Divinely Artist? Blessings to you. Good to see you. Appreciate you for stopping by. Yes, Nerly, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking me about me and my family. Everybody's just kind of chilling, marinating. It's just two of us now. My one and only birdie has left the nest. So it is just me and the hubby. So I'm finally at a place in which I can just woo-sigh. I done did my little parenting duties. Now I can be free. I can relax, and just focus on just doing the things that I would like to do now that I know she started her career. But yeah, everybody's well. So y'all, Officer Fletcher is accused of accepting bribes in exchange for turning a blind eye to contraband being brought into the prison. James F. Boyer Smith, special agent in charge of the Department of Justice Office of the Inspector General Miami Field Office, stated correctional officers who engage in bribery undermine the safety and integrity of federal prisons. Now, this is what I mentioned before. Whenever you have a correctional officer that is weak, that is spineless, is easily able to be manipulated by criminal offenders. Guess what? Y'all may not think it's a big deal, but do you not understand? One weak link can cause a catastrophe. Think about it. You got an officer that's allowing contraband to be smuggled into the facility. Y'all know these inmates do all kind of stuff. Y'all do understand that they make shanks, that they make weapons. If you're allowing them to bring in contraband, what the hell you think they're doing with that contraband? They're making weapons. And when an inmate makes weapons, do y'all think that inmates only use weapons on inmates? Do y'all not think that inmates also use weapons on officers as well? Which means if an officer has to discipline an inmate or has to penalize an inmate for unruly behavior, that inmate has a shank in their cell sitting under their mattress, because you have another officer in this facility that's allowing all type of illegal items to come into the facility. So these inmates got all day to sit up here and think of creative things to do. They got all day to sit up here and think about creative weapons that they can make. And it is more so the officers that are at risk, because the officer is the one there for 13 to 14 hours a day. I'm back, fam. Sorry about that. But as I was stating, anytime you have an officer that is that negligent and is that gullible, it puts the whole prison at risk. It puts the whole jail at risk. And that's basically what happened in this situation. Now, so this is what's going on. She has a lot of charges that she's going to have to face. Now, I was able to find this young lady's Facebook page. And the worst possible thing is to be an officer and end up having to be incarcerated in the same prison or jail in which you were in authority over. I've seen it several times. I've seen officers who get caught up in corrupt situations only to have to come back and be incarcerated in the same prison or jail in which they were employed for. And let me tell you something, it is hella embarrassing. It's hella embarrassing as an officer when you have to go back to the same prison, the same jail, and they have to fingerprint you. You're getting fingerprinted in front of your fellow co-workers, your former co-workers. Your former co-workers have to fingerprint you. Your former co-workers have to change you out of your civilian clothes and hand you an inmate uniform. Your former co-workers, you know, they basically have to walk you down this long ass hall and take you to your assigned unit. Now, 9 times out of 10, when they do arrest her, they're going to put her in protective custody. They're not going to put her in general population because, of course, she's been an officer. And anytime you've been an officer, even if you've been arrested for something or you are under some type of investigation, they're not going to put you in alignment with other inmates. That is a major risk. And plus, these jails, these prisons, they don't want to deal with lawsuits. They don't want to deal with anybody getting hurt or anybody getting injured on their watch. So, of course, they have a due diligence. They're going to have to protect her in the midst of her, during her duration of her incarceration. Now, I found this young lady's Facebook page, and as you can see, and I'm going to share it with you, I'm not sure how long she's been working at this particular facility. Let's see if I can try to find out how long she's been working there. But unfortunately, she stands a lot to lose in this because you can tell she's a family woman. She has children that's basically depending on her. And all of her children are going to feel the backlash of this, unfortunately. This is what happens, y'all, when y'all get caught up with these inmates. I'm going to see how long. I'm trying to find out how long she's been with this particular facility. See how long. Okay, so all of this has happened 4 days ago, y'all. So we don't have, let me see. We don't have the information yet on how long she's been with this particular facility, but I'm sure all of that is going to come out in due time. But I'm going to go over ahead and share her Facebook page with you guys. So I'm going to just go ahead on and share it. Koja Malik, what's up? Now, Koja, I know you're definitely going to know about this. I know you're definitely going to know about this girl because you've been in this type of alignment. I don't know if you still do corrections. I think you said you used to do corrections or something. I'm not sure if you still do corrections or not, but clarify me on that, Koja. But I'm gonna share her. I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen with you guys and show y'all this young lady. Unfortunately, who done got herself caught up. Okay, y'all. So this is the young lady, former officer Tiffany Evans Fletcher, who, of course, and this is the correct one because she lives in McRae, Georgia, and this is where the incident occurred. It occurred in McRae Correctional Facility Prison. So, you know, I don't like really showing people children too much or whatever. But you could tell she's definitely a family a family-oriented woman. But for all of you who coming in, this happened 4 days ago. A federal prison guard is being charged after accepting bribes to allow smuggled material into a prison. So as you can see, she's a nice looking woman. Unfortunately, she just did not use her best judgment when it came to getting involved with these inmates. But this just goes to show y'all, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't matter if you're attractive. It doesn't matter if you got so much wisdom and knowledge. Anybody could get got in this type of profession. Anybody could get swindled. So it's very important that anybody that's in corrections, that you always be on your P's, always be on your Q's, because this type of offense, anytime a correctional officer gets caught in this type of scandal, it's one thing to get fired, but it's another thing to have to deal with incarceration on top of termination. You feel me? So for those of you who just coming in the chat, basically what's going on, Mrs. Fletcher here, former prison guard, is being charged with accepting bribes to allow smuggled material into a prison. The Department of Justice says 35-year-old Tiffany Fletcher of McRae is being charged. And like I said, that's how I know we got the right one, because this one here says she's from, go back to, so we know we got the right one. Okay, so she lives in McRae, Georgia. All of y'all see that, right? Okay, so making sure we're on the same page, so nobody can't say I'm misidentity, I got the wrong person or whatever. So I don't want to focus in on her children too much. She does have beautiful children, for what I can see. I don't like getting people's kids and stuff involved. So I want to just focus on her, being that she's the adult who committed this offense. So the Department of Justice says 35-year-old Tiffany Fletcher of McRae is being charged with 5 counts of robbery. This can carry a statutory penalty of up to 15 years in prison with financial fees and up to 3 years of supervised prison term. So what she's being accused of, that's the main thing. She's being accused of accepting 5 cash bribes with a total of $4,390. Now, honestly, that wasn't even enough of money. That's even worth, you know what I'm saying? All of what she's going to lose behind this. Now let me tell y'all, they've been watching her from June to December 2019, and she returned. She failed to report or investigate prohibited objects being brought into the facility. So basically, they had been watching her. They had been watching her, monitoring her. Basically, there's nothing she can say or do to get herself out of this, because they've been watching her bringing these items. They've been watching her know that these items have been coming in. They've been seeing she has not done nothing to stop it. She has not intervened in it. She has not confiscated any of these items from any of the inmates. So at this point in time, she really can't save herself. The one thing about the feds, these jails, they watch you, they monitor you for a while. They're not just going to get you off of 1 or 2 things. They let you go about it for at least a year or so. They monitor you, watch you, just to see. They want to build up all of their evidence. They want to build up all of their proof. That way, there's nothing you can say or do to back out, especially when it comes to the feds. So nevertheless, y'all, this is not a good look. Unfortunately, it gets even more interesting, because again, the decision she made, it puts the safety and integrity of federal correctional officers in the facility at risk. So anyway, I just wanted y'all to kind of see who the young lady was. Like I said, you can tell she has a nice family, nice looking family. This is a woman who needed her job, who definitely couldn't afford to get herself in this type of position. So I'm gonna go ahead and exit on out. All right, what's up? Okay, now I can see y'all comments. Good evening, everybody. Koja says, I'm going back into the belly of the beast. Did drug and background check, waiting for a start date. I'm a nurse, but all staff are suspected of manipulation. We don't got it all time. Oh, okay. So you're a nurse, but I remember you told me you had worked there. So what's up, Candace? How you doing, dear? I did put in the community tabs the coffee mugs that I'm working on. So that's the next project coming up. So as y'all know, I got my own Southern Chick Creations. I got my own business where I make my tumblers. I make personalized cups for weddings, baby showers, whatever. But y'all can check that out on my community tab whenever y'all get a chance. Her IG is, she doesn't have, I don't know if she has an Instagram, Nerly, but I know if you go on Facebook, her name is Tiffany Fletcher. Okay, because I don't do Instagram too much. They do more talking than actually communicating. You can't really dialogue with too many people on Instagram. But that's her Facebook page is Tiffany Fletcher. So basically, she put herself in a bad predicament. Now, as I stated before, a lot of people are probably wondering what provokes officers to put themselves in such a bad situation. Why are officers willing to take a chance and risk getting caught, risk getting exposed? Well, a couple of factors are involved here. And like I said, I haven't been in corrections now for almost 7 going on 8 months. And I can honestly say one of the biggest issues is that a lot of the officers are overworked and underpaid. A lot of these officers are not getting paid any money. They're not getting paid enough of money for the stress and the headaches. What's up, Ishmael? That they have to deal with. You're working these long-winded hours for anywhere. It can vary from supposed to be 12, but in most cases, your average day, you're going to be on your job for 14 hours. A lot of these officers are overworked. The staff is consistently short because people are quitting. If they're not quitting, they're getting fired. And honestly, all officers do not get fired for corrupt behavior. Some officers get fired because you speak your mind, or you call out higher rank on a bull. And sometimes when you're too boisterous, it can go against you. And in many cases, it hurts you more than it helps you. A lot of times when you speak your mind and you call out the bull that you see is going on, because when it comes to dealing with corrections, it's a certain level of loyalty they expect from you. So and I would say a lot of times that loyalty collides into stupidity. In other words, they want you to see a lot, take a lot, even if you see a lot of corruption going on, even if you see a lot of unfairness and injustice going on. Basically, they don't want you being a voice to express your concerns. It's part of that go along to get along type of thing. You get what I'm saying? But pumping the brakes before I proceed into the story, just to let everybody know who's coming in. Today is family check-in day. Ask Mocha anything. Because again, I have not done live stream in a long time, and I know y'all haven't seen or heard from me. Well, y'all been hearing my recordings, but y'all haven't heard me do any lives lately. So this is why I'm doing the family check-in. So it's not just about me just coming up here just throwing all these topics. Y'all also have the right as well to ask me my opinion on anything, or maybe you got advice about something, or you would like to get my intake on something. That is what this particular this is the time for it. That's why it's called family check-in. Ask Mocha anything. So I see Ishmael has a question. Can you do video on a daughter who caught her mother in bed with her daughter baby daddy? I sent it to you. Like to hear your thoughts. Oh, absolutely. I did see the video. Of course, it has gone viral, and it was very, very embarrassing to say the least. Very embarrassing for the daughter, and very embarrassing for the mother. So for those of you who have not been keeping up what's going on, Ishmael and a couple other people sent me a video about this young woman who came home and caught her mother smashing her baby daddy, smashing her boyfriend or whatever. So of course they were going back and forth, and you can tell the mother had very little remorse basically for her actions. And this happens a lot, Ishmael. Unfortunately, you have a lot of women out here who do not want to teach their daughters. They don't want to teach. Instead, they rather compete with their daughters. You have a lot of these grown women, these expired hood rats, who cannot accept the fact that you played with your youth, you toyed with your youth too long, you decided to you wouldn't cash in your whole card soon. So by the time you realize that your hoeing days have played out and is no longer working for you, now that you're over 50 and you got arthritis and your eggs are no longer hatching from your reproductive system and all of these other problems, you want to try to go out there and play catch up by calling yourself, trying to seduce these young men. And if you're not seducing them, they're actually having sex with them. They're actually trying to compete with these young women. They're trying to basically relive their youth, relive their hood rat youth days by sleeping with these young men. Because the truth is, let's face it, a lot of these young men are gullible. And when it comes to women throwing the coochie at them, they lack discretion. So when these old hags come at these young men and they seduce them, and these young men, they're gonna take the bait because, again, a lot of these older women, they got the experience, so they know what to say. They know how to manipulate these young women. But in this case, what made it so disrespectful is that this was her grandkids' father. And you know what? It's a lot of families that have this type of dysfunctionality. You'll be surprised how many women have smashed their daughters' boyfriends, have smashed their daughters' baby daddies. I can never understand the psyche of that, other than you just have some older women out here that are just straight nasty. They nasty, they trashy, and what it is, they know men their age do not want them. They know Willie, they know Otis, they know Charles, they know Billy ain't checking for them like that. A lot of these old women, they know they don't hold out and play it out with men their age. So they automatically target these desperate, gullible young dudes who already only can define their masculinity through their penis. So that's what she did. And it was very disgraceful that she had the audacity to be sleeping with this young man in her daughter's house, in her daughter's bed. But you have, and this is the reason why, honestly, you have a lot of Black women who want nothing to do with their mothers. I've had young women come to me, and I've done video, I've done content on this type of topic several times. The problem is so many Black women who don't have real mothers. It's a lot of Black women that don't have real mothers because their mothers are trying so hard to still be like them. Their mothers are still trying to relive their youth. Yes, clearly she has no morals and she is desperate. Absolutely. I've met one or two of my daughter's boyfriends, very handsome young men, nice looking guys. The guy she was with for a long time, who I really liked, very handsome guy. But I never was sexually drawn to him to the point I wanted to smash him, that I want to have sex with him, because me as a grown woman, I know in the back of my mind, there's nothing that young man could possibly do for me. The only thing a young man could do for me is wash my car and take my trash out and take my dog for a walk. I've never found any fascination with being intimate with young men, because for one, young men are still very childish. They don't know how to physically please a woman in most cases. Most of them, and I don't know, I'm just hypothetically thinking, when it comes to intimacy, most of them are pretty, I'm assuming they're pretty rough. They lack knowing how to really stimulate a woman. Like I said, it pretty much anybody can have sex, but when you're picking up these young men as a woman, you've had experience with men sexually. You look to be pleased in a certain way, and these young guys, in most cases, I just don't see where women up in her age like that are turned on by these young men. But when you're that desperate, I guess anything will do. And definitely, like you said, Nerly, she made that very clear that she has no morals, she has no respect for her daughter. And it's a lot of, like I said, it's a lot of black women who go through this. I knew some sisters back in my day, they would not allow their boyfriends to come to their house. They would not allow it. Because their mamas was very fresh, very hot in the draws, and a lot of young women, they just didn't trust bringing a boyfriends around their mothers, especially when they know they have boyfriends that were already that they had trust issues with. It's sad, but you have a lot of young women, they can't even introduce their boyfriends to their mothers because their mothers are so hot in the draws. You Some women who have had mothers who have actually been to bed with their boyfriends, and they have strained relationships or strained friendships because of it. And this happens in the black community a lot. This is just something that gone viral. This been going on for decades. Fortunately, I wasn't one of those women that have had the experience. My mom has never been attracted to any of my boyfriends like that. She would compliment them and tell them they were cute, they were handsome, but she was never like fascinated with them like that, or never looked into them like in that manner. And honestly, it's the other way around. You have some young women that are attracted to their mother's boyfriends. You know that, right? That happens a lot too. So yes, to answer your question, Ishmael, that was very, very disheartening. It was very disgusting. It was very immoral. And it's a lot of black women who do that. They're too busy trying to keep up with their daughters. They don't want to accept the fact your time has expired. Let these young women do their thing. Let these young women have their fun. Let these young women have a good time. I've seen grown women in their 50s wearing clothes tighter than their pantyhose. Matter of fact, when we went to a blues concert, there was this woman, she basically wore like a sheer bathing suit to the concert, and you could tell she was every bit over her 50s. And I'm like, the desperation for a lot of these women over the age of 50 is at an all-time high. It's really embarrassing, and a lot of that has to do with some of these women, they played in the streets too long, and now that they have hit the wall, they have at that age where they just can't pull men like they used to. They're pulling anybody, even if it means just taking their daughter's boyfriends or whatever. So yeah, I seen a video, and she's gonna have to deal with that karma. She's gonna have to deal with that embarrassment, because I guarantee you, even though we can hardly see her face, there's a lot of people who knew who that woman was, and she's gonna have to walk that hall of shame. Um, the boyfriend, I fought him, but not 100%. But it was low in him to take it there with her mother. But again, when it comes to the devil's pie, and what I mean by the devil's pie is the vagina of a serpent. And if you are a man who has issues with discipline, keeping your rage and hormones together, you take a slice of the devil's pie, then guess what? There's going to be consequences behind it. And that's what the young man did. Now it's going to be awkward because, again, this man has children. And the woman he was smashing is the mother of his grandchildren. Now, imagine what kind of goddamn family reunion or birthday parties. I honestly, I would have nothing to do with my mother. That would be the day. That would be like my mother's funeral, because I would have nothing to do with her in life. I would never be able to respect a woman who gave birth to me smashing my baby daddy. I could never forgive her. I'm not even going to sit up here and act like, oh, it's a kumbaya moment, I can get past it. Absolutely not. She would be dead to me right then and there. And that's just my opinion on it. But also, yeah, I had to step away to turn off my I'm making some peach cobbler. But believe it or not, it has happened in some black families, and some of them somehow they get past it. I know sisters, both of them smash the same guy, and both of them got kids from the same guy, and they are still family to this day. No, I have stepped away, Ishmael. I stepped away. I had to go turn off my peach cobbler. Yeah, but I'm not one. I'm a forgiving person. But once somebody draws the line and you are smashing my mother, what's up, Adams family? You're smashing my mother. You're smashing a female in my family. That's just that's a dead contract at that point. Only thing I can do is hire a hitman from that point, and that's my opinion on that. Coach, what do you use on your skin? I use a lot of that turmeric soap. I use a lot of that. So, I saw your question up there. Just turmeric soap and sometimes black soap. My skin is naturally oily, so I really don't have to put no lotion or nothing on it to keep it from drying out, because I have the exact opposite problem. My skin is very oily. So, but those are the two products that I'm using now or whatever. But anybody who's coming in, yes, this is the Ask Mocha Anything. I was talking earlier about this correctional officer who unfortunately was looking at doing 15 years or more of Fed time because she was smuggling in items and contraband for an inmate. So me having past experience working inside a facility, I've seen it all the time. These guys are very smooth. They slick as WD-40. Most of the time, a lot of these inmates, they may be criminals, but inmates are still smart. I don't know why officers think that inmates are dumb. Just because you have on a badge and just because they have on a jumpsuit, it does not mean that they cannot read you, that they cannot detect if you're a weak link. These inmates are very smart. Just so happen they got caught. But just because the person has gotten caught doing something, that does not take away from their intelligence. But again, y'all free to ask any questions in the chat. This is Ask Mocha. Because I'm gonna probably be rolling on here another maybe 30 minutes. My thing is to try to do the segment for about an hour or so. Any questions or anything, like I said, normally I'm always the one doing topics and stuff, and I know y'all haven't see me go live in a while. So I want to do a family check-in, checking on all of y'all, making sure everybody's doing good. And if anybody has any questions, this is the time to ask. If you want to know my opinion about something, a current event, or just anything in life in general, this will be the time to ask before I shut everything down. I'll probably shut it down by 8:30, depending on how things are going. But yeah, that's basically nevertheless. So again, I don't recommend. I really don't recommend anybody really get into corrections because it's a lot. Question here from Adams is, what tips can you give to grow a channel? Well, it pretty much depends on what's your main objective. You have some people that are growing channels basically because they are following the trend of others. So if your motive is you just want to have a big channel and you just want to have a lot of followers, basically, do your research in the YouTube streets and see what is mostly drawing the likes of the subscribers. So this is my train of thought. Some people just want to grow content because they just want to become popular, and you have others like myself who just like to do content because they just like to share wisdom and like to share knowledge. Numbers are important to me, but they're not a priority. And that you have to just really know yourself. You got to know what's important to you. Are you more concerned with getting people to like you? Are you more concerned with people following you because you want them to admire your truth, not just admire your popularity? So that's one of the things. You got to be true to you. Secondly, be careful about following trends. We got too many people doing the same thing in the YouTube streets. Everybody is pretty much hitting the same topics that the most popular content creators have done. So you have a lot of people that are monkey see, monkey do. They see other content creators who they following is over 300,000 subscribers or over 10,000 subscribers. So they want to be able to hit that same mark or higher. So you have a lot of content creators, they are just following the trend. But the only thing about trends is that it takes away the authenticity, it takes away the originality. If you're doing something only because you see so many other people doing it and it's making them popular, keep in mind it may not jump off for you the same way it jumped off for other people. And who's to say those that are doing great right now, following the same trend, we don't know if that trend at some point in time, whether if it's year or two down the line, may fizzle out. You don't know if YouTube may come to a point where they may change rules on certain things, where they don't want you talking about certain things. They don't want you addressing certain people. And if the majority of your content has always been addressing a specific group of people, and YouTube was to step in and intervene and say, okay, starting today, we're not allowing content creators to talk about this or talk about that. Now you got to figure out something else to talk about. So it's so many factors that you got to consider as far as tips when growing your channel. But the main thing is be true to you. Be true to you. Speak on the things that you know that you are aware of, things that you know that you have wisdom in. Don't get in the habit of regurgitating other people's points because their channel is popping hot. Their channel is the hottest thing happening. So you try to do like a knockoff of what they do. You try to revamp. You try to remix what you see all these other popular content creators do. It takes away the ethnicity. So definitely be true to you. So that's my main advice. Be true to you. Don't follow the trend of other content creators just because you see 50, 60 other ones doing it. Find your own lane. Don't try to ride in the flow of traffic like the rest of these content creators. I get it. It's very tempting. You're going to feel like your channel taking off, but you see everybody over here who talking about the same thing. Their channels seem to be growing. But if you're speaking on things that you really don't have the wisdom, you really don't have the knowledge for, you're going to eventually find yourself struggling, having to be something you're not because it's really not you. You're only doing it because of the trend you're trying to follow. The next thing is how did you feel when you reached 1,000? That definitely was an accomplishment for me. I know it's not a big thing for everybody else because you got everybody that got 10K, 100,000K. But when I first hit my mark of 1,000, I was definitely really proud of that accomplishment. What's up, King Bob? I was really proud of that accomplishment because I really didn't think a lot of people was really checking for my channel like that. But once I had hit that $1,000 subscriber mark, I said, okay, it's so many people out here feeling where I'm coming from. It ain't so much feeling me. I don't care if people feel me or not. I want people to feel the message. Because a reason why I don't want nobody feeling me, because once people is only feeling you, the moment you say something they disagree with, or the moment you're talking on something that's against their narratives, all of a sudden they're not feeling you. So I don't want anybody feeling me. I just want them to feel my where I'm coming from. Not meaning they got to agree, but just that we all kind of we pretty much vibe on the same on a lot of same topics. And I think that's the reason why my channel has grown as much as it has grown, because a lot of people, they just vibe with me because I'm just myself. I'm a chill type of female. I don't do a lot of hooping or hollering on my channel. I don't have a lot of beef. I don't get into it with too many other bloggers. I don't have a screaming match panel. I don't have a lot of that negative energy. And even though, what's up, Priest Brooklyn in the house? My channel may not be as popping and it isn't over 20,000, but I'm comfortable with where I'm at because I never really had to change too much of my style to continue to keep growing, and that's what I want. Sometimes when you put yourself out there and you start trying to do things you see other people are doing, it takes away the authenticity. It takes away the ethnicity of it. And with my channel, I like to be authentic. I don't want to have to feel like I have to constantly put on a show to keep people interested. I don't want to feel like I got to create beef with other content creators for people to notice what I do. I don't want to do content where I'm dragging the most popular content creators for people to notice me or to recognize me. I don't want to put other people's names in my titles and for clickbait. So I could earn clout, I could earn recognition. I don't do any of that here. And I'm safe, I'm comfortable because I don't have all that extra pressure on me. I feel like as a content creator, once you start putting yourself in a hot seat where you beefing with other content creators, you beefing with subscribers, you having all kind of knockout, drag out, you throwing chairs and tables on your panels, you start to make yourself a target. Yeah, of course you're gonna have all of these. Truth be told, let's just face it. People love fuckery. People love fuckery on all levels, especially the Black community. The Black community loves fuckery like we love fried chicken. The Black community loves fuckery like we love to get Jordans on sale. The Black community loves fuckery. Fuckery is what's entertaining. Fuckery is what's going to keep people coming back for more, like a buffet. Fuckery for Black people is like a buffet. It's gonna it's gonna keep people coming back. long as your channel is centered around fuckery, you're going to keep people interested. People are going to keep coming back for seconds, for thirds, for fourths. I mean, as long as you love to keep creating and promoting fuckery, the people are going to follow. But the catch-22 about fuckery is fuckery also brings you a lot of trouble. It brings you a lot of enemies. It's very entertaining at first, but at some point in time, what people have to realize, when you build your platform off of negativity, even though it's entertaining, even though it may draw a lot of subscribers to you, but at the same time, it draws a lot of trouble to you. The more controversy your platform has, that's the more enemies, foes that are going to double up and triple up and go against the fuckery that you're speaking upon. That is the only bad part about fuckery. Fuckery is entertaining, but fuckery draws a lot of negative energy to you. And my thing is, don't get me wrong, I love the fuckery every once in a while, but I don't like the energy that comes with the fuckery. I don't like the drama that come with it. I don't have the energy. I don't know about y'all. I'm 42 years old. I don't have the energy to get on my platform screaming and cussing for hours at a time over people that I have provoked by talking badly about them, or they have talked badly about me. I'm just at a different stage in my life in which I don't need fuckery that bad to feel relevant. I just don't need it. I don't need it. I'm a chill. I'm a Scorpio. I'm a chill back type of female. I embrace isolation. That's why y'all don't see all kind of people on the panel with me. I love my isolation. I love it. Back then, when I didn't have the wisdom that I had, I felt like I had to have friends around me. I had to have company. I had to have somebody to talk to because I would feel so lonely. I used to feel lonely for friendship. I used to yearn for friendship. But once you have experienced all type of levels of betrayal, your yearning for people and company becomes less important to you. I have experienced so much significant amount of betrayal. I don't yearn and I don't crave for company. I don't crave for friendship. I don't crave for attention. I don't crave for clout because I'm so content in my peace. I look for peace like I look for money. I look for peace like I'm looking for an increase in my savings account. My peace is everything to me. Peace is more important than friendship. Peace is more important than clout. Peace is more important than getting extra subscribers. I love my peace. I'm not hating or mad at anybody who has X amount of subscribers because the more subscribers you got, that's also your enemies. They double that. For every subscriber, your enemies they double. So let's say if you got 2,000 subscribers, if you got 2,000 subscribers, you got 2,000 enemies. Your enemies are going to double up on that because everybody is not going to receive what you do correctly. And honestly, there's so many miserable people out here. Listen, y'all, we are living in our last days of a lot of miserable ass people. And YouTube has become the new playground for all of these miserable people to feel comfortable. Everybody is looking for a savior. Everybody is looking for somebody to be their voice. Everybody is looking for somebody that can speak for them and all of that. Because that is where we are now. Everybody is searching and seeking to be saved. Everybody wants a savior. And I'm just not in the business of that. I don't care if it means I'm not going to have no more than 5,000 subscribers. I'm comfortable with that. The more people you deal with, the more bullshit you got to go through. I'm okay if my channel doesn't grow another 2-3 years. I don't want a lot of people in my space because everybody who I see who got a lot of subscribers, they got a lot of problems. They got a lot of headaches. They got a lot of drama. I ain't jealous or hating on nobody up in these YouTube streets. I'm okay with my small platform. I can get off of here and go have me a glass of wine, go eat my turkey wings or collard greens. I'm good. You got some people, they live for YouTube. I got real friends. I got real family off of here. That's why y'all don't see me live streaming all the time. If y'all notice, y'all rarely ever see me live stream, do y'all? Every once in a while, y'all got to catch me. Y'all got to catch me. And the reason why I can't plan, like sometimes I be wanting to let y'all know when I'm going to do live stream. I can't tell y'all and I can't plan it because I got so much of my own life. I got a real social life outside social media. I got real friends. That's why I don't care nothing about these YouTube friends. The 1 or 2 YouTube friends I don't fell out with, we don't talk to. I don't care if there was not a loss to me. I had real friends before I got up on here. The reason why you got so many of these females that's beefing and getting into it and dragging each other's name through the mud, it's basically because they don't have no real friends outside of these YouTube streets. Why am I going to argue and fight and go do 5, 6, 7 hour live stream about these broads on YouTube? That most of them I didn't meet in person. We never had no deep connection. We never went to Starbucks. We never had ribs and chicken wings or anything together. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm just not in the business. I'm not trying to earn recognition on here. My life is not that deprived. My self-esteem is not that low. I got a husband. I got a daughter that I'm close to. Me and my mom's. Listen, I be on the phone with my mom for like 8 hours a day. That's why I don't even be yearning YouTube like that. When you have a real family outside of YouTube, you don't give a damn about what goes on. Now I do my content. I do stop by. I show my subscribers some love. I talk to y'all all the time in the community tab. But that's the reason why I don't understand why so many sisters on here beefing with other sisters and they pulling each other hair and they yanking each other lace front wigs off and all of that. When you have a real life, no one on here can make you feel so unvaluable to the point you got to beef and respond and go back and forth about every little thing they say. I don't give a damn about, you know what I'm saying? I got my one or two, I got my couple of peoples on here that I'm cool with. But for the most part, anybody I ever lost, they was not a loss to me because I already had family. I was already solid before I came in these YouTube streets. But anyway, let me look at some of the questions because this is Ask Mocha Anything. So I saw your project, Leroy. I know you probably thought I forgot about you, but I highlighted your comment. Leroy says, your thoughts on that McDonald's hoax trending on social media. Was that a hoax? If so, please update me because when I did my content on it, I thought this was one of those bitter baby mamas really cutting up. Was this a hoax? Please let me know. Like, really, I will hope nobody didn't go this far just to go viral and make up a whole scenario. I mean, like, I won't be surprised because people are so damn attention starved. It was fake. Are y'all serious? That does not surprise me. People are so social media starstruck. They want to be known for something. McDonald's trying to shame shady baby mothers. But you know what? Even if it was fake, the truth is it's a lot of females who do stuff like that. It is a lot of, but you know what? Even in a fake situation, I think everybody could learn something from that, you know, even though it was fraudulent. But it's a lesson to be learned because honestly, there are some women who really do think like that. And you do have some guys who really are inconsiderate and they they know it's other kids there and they'll just get little JJ something. So I think it's a lesson to be learned in everything. But when I did my video on it, my intake was, and this is how I feel about it. If you are a woman who has 4 or 5 baby daddies, you got multiple baby daddies, and one of your baby daddies decides to bring McDonald's or to bring you know, something to eat over for little JJ, it is not his obligation to feed all of your other children. That's just my personal opinion. If he only has one child from you and the other 4 or 5 belong to somebody else, he does not have to feed all of your children. However, okay, if he chooses to, then that'll be out of courtesy. But you cannot expect one baby daddy to fill in for all the baby daddies. Other single mothers were donating to her cash out to buy McDonald's. Oh my freaking, are you freaking serious? Oh my gosh. See, and this is just why it's sad, but this is just why when it comes to certain stuff in social media, you can't be so quick to react. You can't be so quick to jump and take sides. That's why I stay mutual. If anybody who saw my video, I stayed mutual. I didn't go hard for her at all. And I didn't go hard for him. I just took the situation and I basically stated what he could have did and what she could have did as like a lesson type of thing. But you got people that was so taken to the point they felt so bad. They actually, these single mothers donated cash out to her to buy McDonald's. Oh my gosh. You know what, y'all? My drink ain't strong enough tonight. My drink is not strong enough tonight. But it's the truth. Even if it was fake, I've seen women who get attitudes because Jaquan, Jaquan, daddy, he ain't worth the damn. But Shaquan and Kiki and Lil Larry, their daddy's always there. This happens all the time. You have some women, not all. If it doesn't apply, you ain't got to reply. But you do have some women who have these multiple baby daddies, and it's always those one or two deadbeats who they cannot get to cooperate, who they cannot get to be responsible. They always look for the other men who are cooperative fathers, who are active fathers. They look for them to fill in the gaps. And there are some women who do that, and I really don't think that is right. If a man wants to do something extra for your child, that is his choice. But you cannot penalize him for that, or you cannot expect that of him. Now, if y'all are in a relationship, then listen, this is why I tell people, if you decide to get with somebody who have kids, and it go both ways. I know some women who didn't have no children and got with men who had kids, and the father of those kids expected her to step up and do things as if she was the mother, all because the sorry ass baby mamas he chose to skeet in, he couldn't get them to be real mothers. You got some men that do it too. They got some sorry ass, trifling ass baby mamas, and they try and they go out there seeking for a woman. They go out there looking for a woman who they could smooth talk, looking for a woman who they could finesse, know how to run his little game on her, get her to catch the feelings for him. All of a sudden, he wants her to meet Lil Ray Ray and Lil JJ, and because she done caught feelings for him, now she done got caught feelings for his kids. Here it is, the bitter ass baby mama mad because he sees that he's trying to get this woman to be everything that he can't get her ass to be, as far as when it comes to him mothering his children. You have a lot of single mothers and single fathers that's always looking for somebody to be the cleanup man or cleanup woman. All the time. But it's more women that do it than men. But both are guilty. Let me see. It triggered tricks. Plus, I wouldn't want another man buy my kid McDonald's or hot juice. Now, you know what? That's interesting, Priest, that you said that, because I always said that if I was a woman in that situation, let's say if I had 3-4 baby daddies, if I was a woman in that situation, I would never want any of my baby daddies to even know that I even chose a man that fucked up. You get what I'm saying? You have women who go around here and proudly acknowledge that their baby daddy is a deadbeat. You got some women that's proud of it. You got some women that they hold it like it's a badge of honor. They're so proud to tell everybody how shitty their baby daddy is. But my thing is, I wouldn't even want nobody to know I even chose that kind of dude. I wouldn't even be happy going around here acknowledging my baby daddy is deadbeat, my baby daddy is deadbeat, because who you choose says a lot about you, because that's the choice you made. Sometimes, instead of going around badgering your child's father or badgering the man or the woman you chose, you know, sometimes you got to take your loss. You got to take that L and say, you know what, I picked the loser. Or you know what, I picked a hood rat. Sometimes you just got to take that L. You know what I mean? You got to take that L, and you got to learn how to deal with it behind closed doors. I think as a woman or a man, it makes you look bad when you consistently discredit the mother of your child, or when you consistently discredit the father of your child, because I mean that's who you chose. You know what I mean? That's like you bought this brand new house and you consistently sitting up there, you know, no, I'll do a different analogy. You done bought this expensive car and you up there complaining about the payments you got to make every month. You up there complaining about how expensive the gas is. You up there complaining about how high the insurance premium, but then you pick that car. Why you didn't pick a car that was more affordable? Why you didn't pick a car that, you know what I'm saying, that your budget could sustain? I could never understand the black community, and it's black men and black women that are guilty. We will sit up here and make pissy decisions, but will bitch about it or complain like we don't know why it went that way. You know what I'm saying? Jay Power, thank you for paying the Cafe de Paris congregation. Appreciate the $10 donation, sir. Thank you very much. Remember, y'all, it's Ask Mocha Anything. So while y'all in the chat room, this is the time to ask me anything you would like to ask. It's free game at this point. I'm letting y'all run the chat. Don't ask me nothing personal now. Don't ask me nothing about no pap smear exam or my sex life. Some stuff just off limits, okay? No personal stuff. Speaking of pap smear, I got to do one Monday. Anyway, okay, Project Leroy said, your thoughts on R. Kelly getting 30 years? Wow, Ghislaine Maxwell got 20 years for aiding underage Clyde Epson. Oh, boy. Y'all. When I found out about the verdict, I really was not stunned. There was also a man, I forgot his name, actor from Seventh Heaven. He admitted that he had fondled, but that he had molested children. And to this day, nothing has happened to him. Matter of fact, his name is, I'm gonna look it up right quick. If I remember, Seventh Heaven. I know he was the one who played as the father, Stephen Collins. Yeah, he admitted that he had been partaking in some inappropriate behavior with children. Nothing has happened to him. I will say this much. First of all, black men and black women, y'all already know that we have never been allowed to get away with things the Clorox community has been able to get away with. It does not matter if they admitted it more often than we have, if they have had more solid evidence. We've never been able to get away with doing what they do. And this is even more of the reason why you cannot get yourself in this type of situation. First of all, R. Kelly had a lot of demons before he got in this industry. Okay? All right. We've always known R. Kelly, the singer. We've always known him based off his talent, based off his hit records. And Sheep Stay Sleep was saying the same thing not too long ago. In his chat, big ups to Sheep. But this man already had a lot of demons. And when you get in the industry just enhances all of the demons that you kept hidden. People with a lot of money, especially in the industry, money makes you think you can do whatever you want. Money makes you think you can hide your demons, because it didn't take all of this evidence to come out. This has been something that R. Kelly has been struggling with for a very long time. It's always been rumors that circulated it, even when he first got with Aaliyah. That was during the early 90s. All of the red flags were there, but we kept overlooking it because R. Kelly was R. Kelly. And even though you and I know, we know it's millions of millionaires of all colors, white, Latino, Puerto Rican. We know it's many of men out here who have not battled this demon no more than R. Kelly has. However, keep in mind, we have not ever been able to get away with what they get away with. I don't, when people bring up to me, well, the R. Kelly thing, what you thinking about this? What you think about that? What you think about this white guy over here? What you think about this man over here who got caught? This is just it. We know they are just as guilty, but guess what? When it comes to the United States of America, We don't have the complexion for the connection, and we never will. We don't have the complexion for the connection. So if you are in the industry and you are struggling with the demons of perversion, if you're struggling with the demon of lust, if you're struggling with the demon of alcoholism, I totally suggest that you get a hold of it before the media does and before somebody else exposes you of your own demons. Because, see, you have to realize when you are a millionaire, you have a lot of yes men around you. You have a lot of yes men, people who will co-sign and enable you. I agree, King Ba. Oh, make no mistake about it. I definitely don't give the parents a pass, but guess what? The parents ain't the millionaires. What they had to lose. R. Kelly, a black male millionaire. That's his two strikes right there. Why is we trying to make this deep? There's nothing deep about this. When you are a black man in the United States of America, you know how many black women is locked up and doing prison time for hurting their children? But when these other women of non-colored women do it, they're told they just have, it was temporary insanity. What's that? It's just that excuse they make up all the time for women who I know you're in the chat, for women that have had postpartum. When black women kill their children, we're murderers. When non-colored women do it, it's postpartum depression. See some of y'all chats. People will take more time to chase a car, or when they get, they know they're gonna get no vet or man more or make children. Yep. The UK banned guns, but you will get stabbed to death. R. Kelly done. He needs to start a jail bond. I know, right? Paul says, what's up, Paul? Very true. Now murders in the UK is out of control. Oh my goodness. It is, listen. It's just, things are so tore up right now. The only thing I tell everybody, y'all gonna have to stay prayed up, y'all. Times, we're in our last days. People focusing on things that's not important. The stuff they need to be focusing on, they're not worried about it. It's just going to be interesting. The only thing I can tell all of y'all up in here, y'all stay prayed up. Stay prayed up, man, because I'm telling you, the enemy is out here. He's on a loose. He's like a damn hellcat. He's on a loose. Jay says, thanks, Jay, for the next $10 donation. I'm a Gen Xer. Yep, the black community was trying to get him in jail in the 90s. The Anglo record company saved him and paired him with Celine Dion. Now he broke and they won't account. Absolutely, Jay. And I know you're from the Gen Xer because that's exactly what happened. R. Kelly has been spared for a very long time. And let me tell you the craziest thing about karma. Karma is like a loan. Sometimes karma will let you accumulate a large substantial amount that she knows you're not going to be able to afford to pay back by the time she decides to collect. That's what happened. R. Kelly, I'm quite certain he has so many warnings to get himself together. This didn't just happen overnight. R. Kelly had a lot of close calls, y'all. Look back in the old file cabinet with Aaliyah, with the damn sex tape, with the golden shower. The man, everybody's feeling sorry for him, but at the same time, you really can't because he had so much warnings. He got off. What's up, Angela? He got off 1,000 times. And this time, he just pushed his luck one time too many. He had exhausted all of his luck. Exactly, priest. Now we know America is very backwards when it comes to how they enforce their laws. Yeah, all of those women were surviving R. Kelly. R. Kelly has always been a very talented man. he's always been a very he was not only talented, he was a man with a lot of power. And unfortunately, he used it to entertain his demons. See, we knew the R. Kelly, the singer. We knew the R. Kelly, the platinum record seller. We know R. Kelly, the producer. Even with all of that, this man had so many demons that he would not acknowledge. He would not go get help for. He would not go deal. It, like as the saying goes, if you don't heal, it eventually is going to reveal. Whatever you don't heal, it will reveal. And let me tell you something about the awesome God that I serve. The awesome God that I serve, he gives you time. A lot of us are living, or are basically living on grace. Mercy and grace is the majority of, has been our two best friends that is walking the majority of us through these demonic battles that we don't want to acknowledge, that we don't want to conquer. R. Kelly, like many of us, have been living off mercy and grace. But even with mercy and grace, and God is a forgiving God, it comes a point in time when he gets tired of sparing you. He gets tired of giving you all of these close calls, and you still would not humble yourself and fight this flesh that you refuse to acknowledge. R. Kelly had a lot of time to get this right. Anytime when you're in a position with that much talent, that much power, you have people that are waiting for you to fail. They are waiting for you to mess up. You're not going to be that big in talent, that big in money, that big in success. And don't think that you have people that are waiting on your downfall. And so easily, he just handed it to them. People can say what they want to say, but R. Kelly caused this. He caused this. It ain't about the parents. Yes, we know they were just as grimy. And we know they're guilty, but this ain't even got nothing to do with that. They're not the ones who got to do the time. He had more to lose than they did. Ladies and gentlemen, anytime you got more to lose than anybody else, you have to think twice. But like a lot of these men in the industry, what the industry does is it enhances all of your sexual demons. The R. Kelly is not the only man who unfortunately has had to succumb to his demonic ways. DMX is a prime example. And DMX is an artist that I have a lot of love and respect. I have a lot of love and respect for DMX. People can drag DMX and say what they want to say about DMX, but one thing I admire about DMX, DMX was a man of God. He just was a man of God with a lot of demons. You can tell when that man was praying that he was sincerely crying out for God. But like his first wife, Tashira, said, DMX already had certain demons before the industry. But the industry took away Earl and DMX took over. The demons in the industry took over Robert. They took over Robert and created the Pied Piper, whatever the hell they call him. R. Kelly, the Pied Piper. If you don't deal with your demons before you get in that type of industry, those demons are going to multiply. Think about it. If you already got sexual perversion when you broke, what you think gonna happen when you rich? R. Kelly has been molested as a child himself, from his own aunt, from women in his family. As a child, his youth was tampered with. But if you don't deal with your demons in the civilian world, before you get into industry, those demons are just going to enhance. Yeah, but yes, priest, with all the millions, he couldn't even read. But see, millions had us fooled. His millions had him so covered, nobody didn't even know he could read. See, millions would do that. Millions will cover up a lot of dirt, and millions will cover up a lot of demons until it gets to a point where your millions can't cover your dirt and your demons, and it catches up with you. And that's what ended up happening. Oh my gosh, his cell singing in the background. Oh my gosh. I don't recommend. True story. I remember when I was working at the facility where I was working at, I was playing R. Kelly around the time, because I used to have my little radio with me. I was playing R. Kelly when the inmates was asleep. And most of them, it didn't bother them. But I remember I had one guy who woke up out his sleep, screamed to the top of his lungs, turn that mother effing BS off. I mean, so if this was one inmate who felt some type of way, imagine those that are in the same facility with him, who knows his music and knows what he's in there for. He's gonna have a lot of challenges. He's gonna have a lot of obstacles. They're going to have to keep him in protective custody, and protective custody sucks. I'll tell you, everybody makes it seem like going in protective custody is so easy to do. Protective custody does protect you, keep you isolated, in which your safety is not as you're not as vulnerable, you're not as open, your safety is not much at risk as in general population. But isolation sucks. Protective custody sucks. It makes your time so much longer. Protective custody makes your time so much miserable. And trust me, I'm a loner. I love to be alone. I like to be by myself. But it's one thing being alone and being in protective custody, in jail, in prison. It's not the same thing. Being in protective custody and you're doing time, you have nobody to talk to. You're in this, just pick one of the smallest rooms in your house. Pick your pantry, pick your bathroom, pick a closet. Go in that room and stay there for a whole hour. I guarantee you, none of you will be able to do it. Go in there for 1 hour without your cell phone. Try it. Go in the bathroom, go in a pantry, pick a small room in your house. Don't take no cell phone in there with you. Don't take no radio or nothing in there with you. Imagine being there for about an hour. You won't lose your mind. There's nobody to talk to. There's no, you know what I mean? Protective custody sucks. Protective custody makes your time so much longer. And I'm not sure now that he has 30 years. Now, I don't know how true this is, but they're saying that he's already feeling suicidal. Now, I will not be surprised if that is true, because I'll tell y'all something. When I worked in a correctional facility, I've seen inmates that was big and strong until that sentencing. It's one thing, because it's one thing to know when you're in jail, it's a possibility. Your lawyer done told you, well, you may have to do 8 years probation, or you may have to do 15 years. You may have to. It's one thing when they tell you. And when you're in prison awaiting your trial, hope is what you hang on to dearly. Anybody who's been incarcerated, anybody who's been locked up will tell you, hope becomes your best friend when you're in prison. Hope is all you got, okay? Because you really don't know the outcome. You really don't know what you're going to face. All you have is hope. When I worked in the facility, all I heard inmates, when they would talk about their sentencing, talk about their trials that were coming up, that's all they was focusing on. And a lot of them had to hype themselves up and believe the best or hope for the best. Because sometimes when you tell yourself, I know I'm not going to get out of this. I know I'm going to end up doing life. When you tell yourself that, you already feeling defeated before you even meet the judge, before you even talk to your attorney. So I've heard a lot of inmates just go strictly on hope. Like, I'm hoping all I have to do is this. I'm hoping the judge will see the good in me. I'm hoping they'll take into consideration my good behavior throughout my duration. All you have is to hold on to is hope. Only to find out when you get to that trial and the fate of your future is in the jury's hands. The fate of your future is in the judge's hands. Your family sitting there. The victims, their family is sitting there. You have all of these people with eyes on you. Everybody's waiting to see how your future is going to go down. And the moment that man heard he was going to have to get through 30 years, I knew everything in him. It's like the light just snuffed out. I knew if he could, he probably would have passed out and collapsed right there. Because your hope is what you hold on to. And right at that moment in time, he knew all the hope he ever had was gone. And there's so many of them. Just like the murder, just like the New Orleans rapper C Murder. He didn't think he was going to get life for that club incident. And that's the thing. A lot of times we don't get to pick and choose our battles. And it's a harsh reality check. And while everybody's looking at R. Kelly and giving him the side eye, looking down on him, this is just a reality check that all of us in some shape or form, we have to humble ourselves. Yep. Far from grace. Exactly, priest. Far from grace. And that's why it's very imperative that we humble ourselves, because all of us have made bad decisions. It's just that some of us got lucky where yours wasn't exposed and brought for the whole world to see, like R. Kelly. It's a lot of us who have made poor decisions, bad choices. A lot of us have done embarrassing things, but because we're not a star and because we're not a celebrity, a lot of people don't know about our dirty deeds. A lot of people don't know about the embarrassing things that we've done. Hey, if Mocha gets caught in a scandal, nobody really cares. People may have their opinion about it, but I'm not that big of a star to be that big of a threat for anybody to really, make a big mockery out of it. So this is just a reality check that if you do not deal with your demons as a black man, as a black woman, do not have so much pride to where you too afraid or embarrassed to ask for counseling. If you don't go and deal with your demons behind closed doors, what's going to happen is God is going to put your demons on stage where you won't have a choice. Well, you got to deal with it. If you don't deal with your demons are going to deal with you. All of us in here have a demon we're struggling with. All of us in here got a weakness. All of us in this chat room got something we're embarrassed about. A lot of y'all know, y'all in the chat, y'all know y'all need to go to counseling. But you won't go to counseling because you got too much pride, or you too biggity, or you too cheap to invest in getting some psychiatric help. A lot of y'all should be taking medicine to help you to keep certain things about yourself under control. You won't take your medicine. You won't go see your doctor regularly. You won't go to church and continue to get some spiritual guidance. Get a mentor. Be around other men and other women who are also struggling with your same demons, so y'all can lift each other, so y'all can build one another. That's something that this is something the black community, the black community we've always had this attitude of what goes on in the house stays in the house. I know every black man or black woman, how many of y'all in here done heard what goes on in the house, stay in the house? And see, that's the reason why a lot of y'all walking around here with these hidden demons, just like R. Kelly. R. Kelly was raised in a household with a lot of sexual demonic behavior was going on. But you know what? Black people, we being told what goes on in the house, stay in the house. So what if that uncle molested somebody? So what if that aunt touch somebody? Oh, he's a man. It's okay if he was touched as a little boy. Oh, it's okay. We just keep sliding and letting stuff slide and letting stuff get by because we were told what goes on in the house stays in the house. Everybody has had that uncle. Come on. Everybody has had that uncle who y'all know was nasty as hell, but Big Mama was so crazy about Uncle Earl. Big Mama kept going to church praying for Uncle Earl to get them that sexual demonic spirit off of him. Knowing Uncle Earl was a straight pervert. Big Mama, honestly, in the Black community, Big Mama kept a lot of secrets. What's up, Lord Drag One? Yeah, priest. That's definitely going to be an adjustment for him. This isn't somebody, that's a bum off the streets, that was used to, living in homeless shelters. That's going to be really hard for him to go from a lifestyle of luxury from a penthouse to a penthouse. Absolutely. And you know what? They know, but they know exactly what they're doing. They are trying to break him. And if he's not strong, he will break. But like I said, all of us, it was aunts. This is what happens. That's why I said this R. Kelly thing, we can't just look at, okay, he got 30 years. Okay, look at the things that transpired in his youth. And when R. Kelly got money, whatever family secrets they had, they brushed him up under the rug even bigger. Oh, he's a star now. We ain't got to talk about when Aunt so-and-so raped him, or when Aunt so-and-so had him to practice sexual pleasure on Aunt so-and-so. Once people make money, we're not supposed to discuss the family issues. We're supposed to act like it didn't happen. The Black community, we've seen the non-colored community do it too. We've seen the priests and little Catholic boys and stuff like that. But the Black community is no better. We've always hidden stuff under the rugs. And when you don't deal with those demons, them demons come out. Them demons may come out through the industry. Them demons may come out through your marriage. Them demons may come out through you inflicting that same pain on your own children, molesting your own children. It's going to come out one way or another if you don't deal with it. Those generational curses are going to spiral right back up until you conquer it. But that's definitely my experience on that. Ask Mocha anything. Next question is Ciara embarrassing her husband Russ with those twerk videos? Or is Russ a weak man for allowing his wife to embarrass him? This is a very, very interesting question. Jay Pira, thank you for the $5 donation. This is therapy. I'm good. These therapists here are all trying to be on YouTube, celebrity. I know, right? That's very interesting. Very good point, Jay. I will say this much. Marriage is a very, very sacred thing. Marriage is very sacred. When it comes to how a husband and a wife, how they conduct their marriage between one another, that is basically that is what the both of them has considered as a good marriage. My intake on Ciara and Russell is that for one, a lot of people discredit they discredit, for when they discredit Ciara, the biggest thing with a lot of people, let's just break down the dynamics, the factors. The biggest issue is that, what's up, Bougie Girl? And what's up, Kai Mobley? How you doing? What's good? A lot of people, for one, felt like Ciara was damaged goods from the beginning once she had a child from Future. It's a lot of men that are still hung up on that because they felt like the moment Ciara had decided to breed a child from Future, she automatically discredited herself from the very beginning. Okay, because Ciara was one of these women that have always had this reputation of being very poised, She's always been, you've never really heard too much anything really negative or really bad about her. But when she got pregnant from Future, a overgrown fuck boy who's been known to have multiple children for multiple women, and the fact that he gave her this impression that he was going to be engaged to her, she thought she had the advantage and being able to make Future be something different with her that he clearly displayed he has never been for any other woman. So when Future basically reneged on the promise that he made to her by not committing to her like she thought she would, she basically saw, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and jump ship. Because I already see at this point, I'm not gonna get nothing. I done already had a child from him. And if me having this child didn't break him, I already know at this point, I'm not gonna succeed in this. So she called herself me and Russell, who of course, like many other men out here, knew she already had a child from a previous relationship. Yet he took on Future's son as if Future was his own. He didn't mind being a cleanup man. He didn't mind being a stand-up dude. He knew who Future was. He knew Future's reputation. He still saw something about Sierra in which it convinced him that he didn't have to focus on her past. That basically that he can see himself being with her regardless of the decision she made in her past. So when him and Sierra got together and they ended up having two kids of their own, a lot of people just dragged Wilson. They dragged Russell, considering him a simp, considering him weak, and all of that. And you just have to realize, and I get it, but the whole bottom line is this: that is who he chose. Several women out of here that Russell could have got that had no children. Several women out of here that Russell could have picked that hadn't been with Future. Several women out here. In fact, Russell's first wife was a white woman who had no children. They were engaged to be married once upon a time. Evidently, there was no chemistry there. Because when he met Sierra, that's who he chose to have his kids from. That's who he chose to marry. The problem with the Black community, and I get it, we have such an opinion when it comes to what is considered a good Black woman and what is considered a good Black man. And the whole bottom line is this: we don't get to pick and choose who is for someone and who isn't for someone. That is the problem with the Black community. We're letting so many of these dating coaches, these dating experts tell us what's a good Black man. And you have a lot of these female content creators that's doing the same thing. What's a good Black man? What's a good Black woman? And the whole bottom line is you have to decide what's a good Black woman for you. You have to decide what's a good Black man for you, not based on what people consider simp, what people consider damaged goods. Believe it or not, some people can work with simps. Some people are compatible with simps. Some men are compatible with damaged goods. Everybody's looking at Russell and Sierra, but it's also the opposite way. It's men in the industry that are taking, it's also women in the industry that are taking on men that have have had prior children and who have had children in prior relationships. It's all the way around. If you really look at it, there's not too many men and women who don't already have children. Everybody keeps telling people, avoid people with children. And it's the same thing. I know a lot of women who don't have kids and they keep running into men who only got kids. All of us are what? In like our 40s now? It's going to be harder to find somebody who A, has not been married, B, who doesn't have children, see who doesn't have grandchildren, it's hard now. And then the women who don't have children, a lot of people ain't giving them too much credit. They saying, "Oh, she's must be she's infertile." I've heard a lot of women be made fun of because they're not able to have children. There's women out here who can't have children. So just because a woman doesn't have kids, it doesn't mean she chose that either. You know what I mean? Some women cannot have children. So it wasn't because she kept her legs closed and waited for Mr. Right. Some women just can't have children. And then you have some women who were smart enough to get on birth control, use condoms. It doesn't mean she's less of a whore than a woman who has a child. For some reason, it's this stigma that when a person has a child, that means they done been around the block multiple times. I know some women who ain't had no children and done been around the block more than an Uber driver. And I know some men who got more kids than women, and some of these dudes are going around here, I don't date single mothers, but they got a bunch of kids from single mothers. That's why you got some of these females. Oh, I don't want a man who got kids, but she got multiple baby daddies. The problem is everybody's looking for, everybody has their own perception of what's a good man and what's a good woman. Everybody's focusing on Russell being a simp and Sierra, using him, whatever the case may be. I feel like this. People was gonna talk about her either way. If she would have stayed with Future and allowed Future to keep honing around on her and have multiple children on her, people would have still dragged Sierra. The moment Sierra got pregnant from Future, people dragged her. So it wouldn't have mattered if she would have stayed with Future. People would have still dragged her. If she moved on and said, you know what, I see, I'm not going to get nowhere with Future. I'm not going to have baby number 2, baby number 3, thinking I could change. Sierra jumped ship when she saw that he wasn't going to do right with the first one they had, or he wasn't going to commit to her, because I can't say he's a good father or not. I don't know that part. But she jumped the situation and people still talked about her. Now you got people like Lori Harvey who don't have no children and people still dragging her. A lot of people got mad with Lori Harvey because she wouldn't commit or wouldn't marry Michael B. Jordan. But I'm like this, I would rather her leave that man than to just marry him just to make outsiders and everybody tell her, oh, Lori Harvey, you did a good job. You married a good black man. If she wasn't happy with him, she just wasn't happy with him. Lori Harvey is only 25 years old. Lori Harvey has no baby daddies. She's got every right to juggle around as much as she pleases because she's not married. She's nobody's wife. Now, if she about somebody's wife doing that, that's different. If she already got 3, 4 baby daddies, the girl's still young. I don't even think Lori Harvey, she's not even in her 30s yet. And Michael B. Jordan, him being an older man, he should have known you take a chance sometimes waiting for these young females to grow up. You had all these dating coaches telling men you need to date somebody younger. These older women are hit the wall. Well, the problem with some of these young women, a lot of them are indecisive. They don't know what they want. I haven't read some of y'all comments. I don't see how Sierra looked at this past 5 baby mama. She thought she was lucky number 6. I mean, literally, she took pictures with all of them. Yeah, she did. And you're right, Kai. She did do that. She talked about, because I remember when she went on the shows showing off her engagement ring, she really thought she was going to be the one to break them. A lot of women be doing that. I do not understand what is the stigma of black women thinking we're going to be the ones to change and break the mold. All of Lil Wayne's, all of his baby mamas did it. Nivea thought she was going to break them in and get married. Lauren London, all of these women, all of these, Lil Wayne had multiple women who thought they were going to be the one. Only for them to find out they just became another baby mama on the list. All of them. Look at all these women that's getting knocked up by Nick Cannon. Now, this is the part that's bothering me. Why ain't none of these brothers going in on Nick Cannon? Why ain't none of these guys addressing Nick Cannon? Russell and Sierra, they married. They got their kids together. At least they decided to get married. At least Lori Harvey ain't going around here having multiple children for multiple men. I'm glad Lori Harvey turned him down, because guess what? You got some women who will get with men just for their money, just to get pregnant from them, to get that 18-year lotto and then leave them. At least she didn't wait till she got I'm glad she didn't wait till she got fully invested from Michael B. Jordan, got pregnant from him, got married from him, where she could turn around and get half. At least she was woman enough to walk away from the situation before they had this big old wedding, before this man decided not to sign a prenup, before they had 2-3 kids going in. Because you have a lot of women, they are committed to men they don't love just because they want to be able to benefit off of his lifestyle. Now, if Lori Harvey would have married him, y'all would have been sitting up here giving her all these praise and accolades, not knowing that her motives probably would have been, well, I'm only having a child from him, so he got to take care of me, or I can get half of all the money he done made being an actor. So I have more respect for Lori Harvey based off the strength that she didn't wait to marry him and get money from him. And after she done got what she wanted out of him, now she wants to throw him away. It's better he deal with the heartache and heartbreak now. Because there's a lot of women that's married to men who they don't want, having kids from men who they don't want, all because they want to be able to cash in on them checks. Now back to Nick Cannon. Why is nobody not addressing Nick Cannon? I have yet to hear any guys say that what Nick Cannon is doing is fuckboy behavior. Now he is basically on the same wavelength as Future. But with Future, we kind of expected him. Future always been on the ratchet side. But Nick Cannon always acted like this prominent, young black man who's pro-black. Nick Cannon has already shown he is the king of what's the word? Not controversy, but he's not a man of his word. I have seen Nick Cannon flip-flop so many times. Nick Cannon will say one thing and do another. Now he sat up here after he had 8 kids, said he was going to be celibacy. He said he wasn't smashing a raw dog and no more females. Only to turn around and say he got 2 more kids on the way, and the 2 kids came from during a moment in which he was going through some depression. Coonery. Exactly, Nerly. Yeah, Nick need to go sit his ass down. Future's a rapper, so he's expected, but him is a different story. Exactly. As I said, Priest, Michael B. Jordan, he dodged the bullet. And thank God she was woman enough to turn him down. So she did him a favor. Everybody's mad at Lori. Everybody dragging her. I'm like, look, this girl ain't got no kids. Let her live her life. Let her do what she wants. She gets old enough, she'll look back and she'll have to deal with that regret. But in the meantime, at least she ain't around here letting multiple dudes get her pregnant. She doing her thing, but nobody can't say she around here creating baby daddies. Dating around has a hefty price. Time will show the price. Exactly, coonery. I heard that when his baby mama's calling him to talk about his child, but he's a sister answering the phone. Let me tell you something. All of those baby mamas, they deserve exactly what the hell they get. I don't have no empathy or sympathy for none of them. And this is just to go show all the guys in the chat. Look at the race of all of Nick Cannon's baby moms, okay? So we can dismiss that myth that it's only black women that are going around here raw dogging multiple men and having different baby daddies, because Nick Cannon has debunked that. All of his baby mothers are biracial, okay? So it's women of all colors are on the come up, okay? It's not just black women doing it. It's not just white women doing it. And majority of these women who who meet men with money that are dumb enough to make dick deposits and not protect their penis, and these women could live off of them like Lotto, then that they're gonna do that. Nick Cannon is the biggest disgrace of Lori Harvey, of Future. He is the king of disgrace in my eyes. And ain't none of these dudes in the black YouTube sector, nobody ain't checking him. Everybody is making this dude think that his fuckboy behavior is acceptable. And it is not. You got all of these multiple children from multiple women. All of them aren't being raised in the same household. Y'all cannot make me believe that Nick Cannon is giving all of those children quality time. I'm not even about to believe it for a second. And you know what black people would like to say? Oh, well, he's a millionaire. I'm tired of black people thinking because other black people got money, we're not supposed to say nothing about their morals. Listen, the only thing money and morals have in common is M. Nick Cannon is trash. Why we ain't talking about him? None of the brothers in the manosphere, they not checking this fuckboy behavior. And it's dudes like this that's causing these single mother households. But I don't just blame Nick Cannon. I also, the females that's getting pregnant by him, I hold them more at fault. Nick Cannon is a cash register. All these females see him is as a check. And Nick Cannon needs a reality check. He's not getting a reality check. He's out here writing checks. And Nick Cannon knows he is struggling with a disease. He knows he has lupus. He's going around here producing multiple children. Knowing, God forbid, if his health declines, not speaking any bad thing on his health or whatever. My thing is, you're going around here having multiple children, knowing what you have is genetic. He already lost a child that did not come here healthily because that child had received a lot of his genetics. The genetics that had the most problems is what that child had, and that child ended up passing away from that. You would think that would have been a reality check, that because of his disease and the fact that he lost a child, that should have been enough for him to keep his penis in his pants. He had 2 more children since then. So he said it's a possibility he's going to have 10 kids on the way. That's a disgrace. So if this man died today, we're going to have another DMX situation. All of these baby mamas are going to be standing in court fighting over his estate. These girls, they think it's cool. All of them knocked up like they sister wives because they all share the same sperm. But let something happen to these men. They all going to be in court just like DMX baby mamas. If Nick Cannon don't already have a will, if Nick Cannon and the fact that he didn't protect his penis, I don't believe that he protected himself with a will. So if something happens to him, his health declines, it ain't even health. God forbid he gets in a car accident, anything. His all 9, 10 of his baby mamas, they gonna be up there battling out in superior court, just like DMX's. Guess what happened to DMX? His fiance that was with him for what, 10, 15 years? When he died, everything went to his first kids from his first wife. She didn't get nothing. You have men going around here raw dogging multiple women, but ain't handling their business. Something happened to them. They baby mamas coming out like roaches. All these extra kids that we never seen at the picnic, never seen at birthdays. All these extra siblings coming out the woodwork. Everybody want to claim they Earl Simmons' son and daughter. It's ridiculous. Jay, thanks for the $20 donation. Jay says celebrity are not high value. Absolutely. I'm glad somebody said it. Nick Cannon nasty. Remember, a character trait of sexual abuse as a grown man is multiple children and women. I'm just saying. Absolutely. And my thing is, y'all not thinking deep. Y'all not understanding. Some of these kids, he had them within the same year. Do y'all not understand that meant that he is going raw in different women with different bodily fluid? Not only is he entering different women, He's transferring so much of his energy amongst these multiple women. Do y'all not understand that? Let me read y'all comments. Yep, hopefully, but we don't we don't get to tell genetics what to do. Nah, DMX is in his home class. Nick is just a mess. Yeah, they are two totally different people, but what I'm saying is, as far as the baby mamas, you know how these women get, Kai, when it come to court. My thing is, if something happens to him, because remember, he's not married to any of those women, Kai. Just like Nick Cannon ain't married to any of them women. I know they're two different guys, but it's still that fuck boy behavior. These same biracial women that act like they so humble and they all kumbaya over Nick's penis. Let something happen to that man. Y'all know what's going down. If he didn't have a will or trust, like somebody mentioned in here, it's going to be a mess. Little boy needs to grow big time. Yep. Leroy Nick needs to get a trust instead of a will. Absolutely. I agree. No, supposedly he's supposed to have 10. I have two baby mothers, and I stay in family court writing checks. I'm telling you, priest. Anybody who's been there, we know it's a lot. Hell, it's a lot with just one baby mama. 20 baby mamas is a nightmare. My thing is, if Nick wanted all his kids, right? I can't understand why he didn't just have all his kids with his first wife, Mariah. At least he would have been having all of his kids from a millionaire. Why did he go around smashing multiple children? Okay, if you're going to smash multiple females, why have multiple children with them? He would have been better off smashing his only wife and having all his kids, because at least his Mariah Carey money is longer than his. He wouldn't have to pay Mariah no child support. That's what he should have done. If he wanted a bunch of children, he should have just had them all with one woman. They need to seek therapy to deal with a lot of issues that are deeply rooted from pain and trauma that was caused by other people instead of projecting their insecurities. Thanks for the 5, Jay. 5 says he lost the show he didn't own. Then he went to a party. Then the show back. I'm just saying. Oh my gosh. That's what I'm saying. Nick is a male thought, absolutely king. Jay, he probably did something strange for some change. Hollywood is well known for underhanded prostitution. Shit, you never know these days. What legacy is his passing to his children? Nick Cannon is he's thinking with the penis downstairs, not the penis upstairs. Whenever you have different children from different women, first of all of your children are being raised differently. This is what a lot of people ain't understanding. When you have multiple baby mamas, multiple baby daddies, all of your children are not being raised in the same household. It makes, and it's not that it's impossible, but it just makes things so much more complicated. Nick Cannon got all of these different children from these different women. One of them has twins. She may be raising her twins differently from his other baby mama, who may be raising her children differently from the other baby mama, who may be that. It's too chaotic. And my thing is, these women, they going with the flow now, but the moment he pisses one of them off, or he gets into it with them, or he gets too close to one baby mama and the other baby mama starts getting jealous or feeling some type of way, he's not understanding. He's definitely putting himself in a very chaotic situation, having all of those multiple baby mamas like that. Not to mention, there's too many women have to answer to. You got one woman over here who's complaining that you never spend time with your son, you never get your son. Then you got another baby mama over here who's complaining about the child support she's getting from you is not enough. She needs an increase. Then she has another baby mama over here who's still in love with him, who realizes she wants more than to just be a baby mama. Well, why won't you marry me? Why you can't commit to me? He has to deal with all of these different women with these different personalities, and women are a lot. Hell, just one woman is too much. He has all of these different women different cultures. All of them are raised differently. All of them have their own morals. When you got that many kids spread out, I'm not even about to leave for a second that Nick is being a good father. I know a lot of y'all out here want to believe, oh, because he's a millionaire, he's spending all this money, he's doing wild and out. I guarantee you, them girls don't hardly see him. Nick has to keep moving and has to keep making money because he knows he has all these mouths to feed. Not only that, he probably still taking care of his mama on his payroll. He probably still taking care of his family. He was taking care of people before he even started having children. So my thing is, this is why I think it's dumb for women to put themselves in this predicament where they have all of these children by these millionaires, because you're basically going to be a single mother. These men have to consistently travel. They have to travel. Somebody got to make the money. Nick, all his baby mamas, they don't hardly see him. They may get to see him twice a month. I'm not even about to believe that he's spending a lot of time with those kids. I'm not even about to believe that none of them are getting neglected. When you got that many kids from that many different women, there's no way you can give all your children your undivided time and attention. Think about it. Just being a parent, being in my household, me and my husband, we both raised my daughter together. I worked so much and my husband worked so much. Did y'all not know? Neither one of us was able to give the one child we got together. We couldn't give her all our undivided attention. And she was under the same roof with us. She was being raised by the both of us. He was always working, always working. So Nick Cannon being a star, all this traveling from state to state, ain't no way in the hell. These kids don't get to see that man like that. These women, they can smile and put up this front like they don't mind being Nick Cannon's sister wives, but behind closed doors, they are miserable. They got to do it all by themselves. Because Nick got to make that money. Nick he don't always have time to come and sit with them all day. We talk about 6-7 different households. Expensive at that. He is bringing children whose mothers had them as a check. What kind of lives would these children be brought up with? Exactly. But the Black community wants to focus on, oh, he's a millionaire. He got money. That don't mean nothing. There's plenty of kids out here who got fathers who got money and they never see their fathers. They don't have a connection with their fathers. That didn't mean anything. They do not know their fathers. He's becoming a part of a culture, actively creating single parent homes. Yep. And justifying financial support as solely being adequate to care for another human being. Absolutely. Born in dysfunction. Yep. We will be hearing about his children are seeking therapy in 20 years. Yep. Us men need to understand one woman is enough to nag us to death. Why the hell you need an extra 5? I could never understand that. I can never understand that. I'm not a man, but you would think by now, you would think men see enough of these sisters being chaotic that it would be enough for them to protect their penis as if it's their last lifeline. I'm not understanding why you have so many guys out here that are so comfortable with raw dog or multiple women, and knowing once these women get a child from you, now they got leverage. They got leverage to make your life miserable. They got leverage to be in and out your pockets. They got leverage to run you in and out of court. You would think by now that a lot of these guys will be hip to the game and will understand that, and they're not. And now that we have this Roe versus Wade, let me tell you guys something. You play with it if you want to, because now if you mess up and knock up the wrong chick, she's stuck with that child. It's a lot of babies. It's a lot of men that was able to avoid chaos because they was able to rid the problem. And I'm going to just say it like that instead of saying the abort word. But it's a lot of babies that dodged the bullet of having to live through bad choices. But now, because of the Roe versus Wade, it's a totally different story now. You can't go around here multiplying and having multiple children. Multiple baby mamas means multiple problems. Multiple baby mamas with multiple problems means multiple money. Multiple baby mamas, multiple money being put out, multiple problems, meaning children being raised in multiple different ways because every mother is different. All women don't raise their children the same. You got some women, they raise their children with structure, make them go to bed at a certain time. And then you got other baby mamas, they don't have a bedtime. Your kids go to bed when they want to go to bed. Your kids sleep when they want to go to sleep. So as a man, do you really want that? Do you really want multiple children, all of your children being raised differently? From one woman over here gotta keep her house clean, keep her house together. Then it's this other baby mama, her house is nasty. The kids don't know how to clean it by themselves. This is what I'm saying. As a one man, when you have multiple children from multiple women, you have no control over your control becomes more restrained because it's too many different women involved raising your children in a different way. And it's going to be too much trying to get all of them on the same accord because all of these women may be biracial, but I guarantee you all of them have different. I'm guarantee you all of Nick Cannon's baby mamas have different parenting skills, got different rules, all of that. You know what I'm saying? So this man is just, he's setting his life up for a disaster. I don't care how many millions he has. What's up, Red Mike Radio? Let me see what other canon. Let's see. If he had these kids, thanks for the $5, Jay. If he had these kids and he was engineering them to greatness, okay, we could give it a side eye. However, kids for no purpose, just dumb. Yeah, I think if people kind of saw he was hands on, people probably wouldn't drag him as much. But the truth of the matter is, Jay, it's gonna be hard for him to be hands on because of how he did it. He shouldn't have did it that way to begin with. Like I said, if he wanted to have a bunch of kids, if having a bunch of kids is his desire, he should have had them all with one woman. Like I said, Nick Cannon was married before. He had a wife that's a billionaire, millionaire, whatever. He should have had all his kids from her. I mean, if at least that's just one woman he got to communicate with. Or if he was going to have one more woman outside of that, let that be. Once you get past two baby mamas, you might as well just go ahead and just nail the grave to your coffin. I mean, that's just, oh my gosh. That's just a lot. That he already dealing with health issues. That's just a lot of extra chaos on his plate. Nick Cannon wears a turban. We don't take him seriously. No, we don't. And I've been stopped watching Wild 'N Out. It's just become, it's too childish for me. I think Nick Cannon is too old to still be doing Wild 'N Out. He needs to let them young guys do it. He just needs to host it and I just think he's too old for it. Abortion is not simple. Abortion make women have mental problems. It does. Abortion is a very sticky subject. I would definitely have to go more into that another day. But it's just better to avoid that situation from even occurring in the first place. And at this point, it's not even an option. But at the same time, it's not fair for a lot of children to be brought here in situations in which they're going to be neglected, and which they're not going to be protected, and which they're not going to get the love that they need. It's no need, and this is the reason why. And this is the reason why you have some of these women. You got a lot of women. They killing their own children. They murdering their own kids because they realize as time goes on the responsibilities of being a single parent. And when they realize it's too much, it's too overwhelming, and they're not getting the support they feel they need, some of these women jump off the deep end. I would rather a woman have an abortion and rid that child of that misery than to bring a child here, and because you can't deal with that child, you can't deal with the stresses of being a parent, you hurting that child, you beating that child. So it's going to be a lot of that. I believe it's going to be a lot of domestic rates that are going to triple because you already had a lot of these women It's already been going on for a long time. If you look on YouTube, you see all of these women. We've heard the horror stories. One woman put both of her kids in the oven. One woman threw her kids over the lake, or threw the child over the bridge and the overpass. If they're not allowed to abort their children, they're gonna find a way to get rid of them. If a woman wants to get rid of her child, she's gonna get rid of her child. So even if she's not granted that privilege through abortion, she'll just hurt the baby when it get here, which is worse. Because you can't make nobody take care of something they don't want. Now, should she have took the initiative from the beginning and made sure it never happened, so the child would not have to be aborted, or she would not have to hurt the child? Absolutely. But let's keep it a buck. Y'all know, even with these little abortion laws, the Black community is not going to stop raw dogging each other. We all know this. Okay? These men are not going to strap up. They rather pay 18 years of child support, go through 30 years worth of chaos and headache, than to pay $5 for a box of Trojan. The Black community is the most lustful community. That's why there's such an overpopulation of single parent households. Black women do not like to use birth control, and Black men do not like to use condoms. The Black community loves to raw dog. They love it raw. Right? Busta Rhymes, I like it raw. They love it raw. And will complain and cry later about the child support, complain and cry later about having to raise the child on their own. The Black community loves to raw dog. Always have, always will. You're going to resent him? Yep, sure is, Nerly. Absolutely. Feel bad for the kids with so many kids. I doubt he has a lot of time to be pregnant. You know he can't spend no time with all of them. Like I said, who they think they fooling? Who they think they fooling? I know I'm not going to be able to catch everybody's comments, y'all. No, why all of these women having all these babies from one man celebrating? That's what I say. It's just as much their fault, if not more. If not more. Because the thing is, they see what Nick is doing. And two of them had, out of two of his baby mamas, both of them have a second child. One of them got twins, and one of them had a second one. So they know what they're signing up for. These women don't even need to become pregnant. I agree. 1,000%, Jay. I agree. They shouldn't even be having any. But guess what? They're going to keep having them. Yep. What's up, Kayla? Women need to stop being sexually irresponsible. Start having kids you're not ready for and can't take care of. Y'all, we have had this talk 2,065,000 times. I done told y'all before, the Black community does not believe in condoms or birth control. If you look at, well, I know Maury Povich don't come on anymore, but if you look at a lot of these fraternity shows, it's the same excuse. One time, I just didn't wear something one time. Something about when some of these folks, when they get in the heat of the moment, something about when you in the heat of the moment, when lust just takes over the atmosphere. No one wants to stop and pumps the brakes and says, wait a minute, let me go strap on my Jimmy. Or wait a minute, let me go take my birth control or whatever. Something about in the heat of the moment, all common sense just goes out the door. Have y'all fun straight up. Except for failure. Yep, that's what it is. And he lost one. And see, that's another thing. The Black community doesn't understand. Sometimes pregnancies, you don't get to choose what you may go through in a pregnancy. You have women. I know a lot of women. Listen, y'all, and this is so true. I know a lot of women who set up here and intentionally got pregnant, intentionally lied about using their birth control, intentionally lied about they was going to take the plan B, set up here and lied only to find out that child don't come here with all type of hereditary issues. You got to be careful when you do things out of spite and you do things out of maliciousness. Because you just don't know how things are backfire. It's a lot of women who didn't expect to have children, and it's not a child's fault, and this is nothing that I nowhere make fun of, nowhere make light of. You have women who have been malicious and intentionally didn't use birth control, only to find out that child has cerebral palsy. And this not to say women who did it the right way. It's women who got married and had it the right way, still had a child with hereditary issues. But sometimes when you maliciously do things, it has a way of backfire. If not hereditary, I know some women who got children from men who they did not know well, and only to find out that the child has a lot of DNA behavioral issues. What a lot of black men and black women don't understand it is everybody DNA does not mix well. It's a lot of black children that are coming into the black community with a lot of behavioral issues. You have a lot of young black men that come here angry, and young black women that come here very angry as well. You have a lot of children that need to be on Ritalin, need to be on all type of medication, because the thing about lust, when you conceive children in the midst of lust, there's a lot of significant details that you tend to overlook. You have to realize, gentlemen, some of these women that you are having sex with, some of these women come from a breed of people that have a lot of mental illnesses. And the same thing with some of you women, when you're up here having sex raw with these men and you produce a child, you could be having a child with a lot of narcissism. The black community does not understand. There's more to sex than just sex. It's more than just climaxing and you making a person bust a nut or you making a person come. You have to realize there are genetic genes that are being produced in the heat of the moment. And if you are casually having sex with a man or a woman you do not know well, you don't know their bloodline, you don't know their family history, you do not know their mental illnesses. Let me tell you, some of these attractive looking men and attractive looking women, do you not understand they have a lot of mental illnesses in the family? Bipolar, schizophrenic. It's another one that's called bipolar, schizophrenic. It's all type of mental illnesses out there. Yep. What's up, Donnell Johnson? Yeah, I mentioned that earlier in today's content. So when I leave, when I get ready to exit, just I'm gonna leave it up. You can play my playback and you'll hear me address that. But I found out it was a hoax or whatever, but I did address it. And I also did content on it yesterday, so you can check out either one. But yes, Donnell, I did reply. I did do a reaction to that. Lady who once worked in the welfare department has said that the women who signed up for services, she said 60 of those women didn't know who their baby daddy was. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people, they don't look that deep into it. Some of these people you having children from, they have all type of generational curses. And you don't know that you're conceiving a child with cursed individuals. You have these generational curses in the black family tree, the generational curse of alcoholism, molestation, physical abuse, sexual abuse, drug use, incarceration. You know, you have some of these young black males that adopt the same traits of their grandfathers, their uncles, their brothers who have been in and out of the correctional system. It's very careful that you are selective who you breed your seed with, because you have a lot of people that are going around having multiple children and they're not admitting to you that they come from a family with a lot of dysfunctional hereditary issues, hereditary traits. What is Nick Cannon's relationship with his own father? Why would he want so many children, have an emotionally absent father? It's funny you mentioned that. I've never heard too much about Nick Cannon's father. It's definitely something that's missing. For a man that feels that deprived, that he has to have multiple children for multiple women, there is definitely something wrong in Nick's psyche. There, he has a psychological issue, and the Black community needs to be woke. Everybody does not look what they are. Everybody doesn't look like what they are. Just because somebody's well dressed and successful and a millionaire, you don't know if underneath all of that there's some type of mental illnesses, there's some psychiatric problems. Nick Cannon very well may need counseling. And my other concern with Nick Cannon is he already has lupus, this disease that he's been fighting with, that's come close to taking his life a couple of times. I don't know if he's having all of these children because he wants to feel like the moment, God forbid, if God decides to take him, he has all of these pieces of him left behind. It's a reason behind him doing it, but whatever the reason is, it doesn't justify it. Keta says the child takes on the karma, demons, and generational curse of both parents. Yes, 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 yes. Donnell Johnson, I mentioned that as well. So you're everything you asking me, you're gonna have plenty of time tonight to play the playback because I talked about all of that. All of that. I know you're just coming in, so that's why I'm telling you all the stuff that I done addressed already. Because coincidentally, everybody asked me about R. Kelly. They asked me about the McDonald's thing. So all of that is going to be like the first hour of content. Yeah, we all knew it was only a matter of time with R. Kelly. But that's the truth. I mean, you can't be going around here raw dog and having all of these different children. Your child not only inherits that child, the father's genes, or the mother's genes, or the genetics. It's those spiritual demonic transfers. It is those generational curses. And a lot of the things that you have done, sometimes your offspring, karma hits your offsprings. Sometimes you don't pay for what people do. Sometimes your offsprings answer for it. It's maybe stuff you're going through as a child and you couldn't understand, or things that you're going through as a person. It may not be something you caused. It may be things that your parents have done in the past, and they left their unfortunate misdeeds on you for you to have to wrestle with them. A lot of men and women, we are fighting generational curses that our ancestors left here way before we knew we was even going to exist on this earth. So it's very imperative that we repent and we look into the history of our family tree, learn what those generational curses are. Let your children and your grandchildren know about those generational curses. I told my daughter about my generational curse on my side and her father's side of family. I didn't want my daughter being oblivious to thinking that, oh, this can't happen to me, or oh, I don't have any problems. The problem with the Black community, y'all want y'all children to believe that they don't have problems. Y'all want y'all children to believe that they didn't have issues. You have to be frank. You got to tell these children. If you don't tell your children, you don't tell your grandchildren, they're going to repeat that generational curse. Exactly. It's the curse of a hot mess. Exactly. I kind of said a little bit about it, Kai, but I will say this much. With the Roe versus Wade, only thing I can say now, any man or any woman who makes a bad choice, you stuck with it. There is no getting out. And now that these women know they cannot have that as an option, hopefully they don't resort to hurting their own children. When their children do come here alive and well, hopefully the children don't suffer. That's my opinion on that. Because at the end of the day, people are going to do what they're going to do. You can't stop nobody from hurting a child if they want to hurt a child. Because at the end of the day, it's that woman's body. And she's going to do what she sees fit. But time will tell. It's a very sticky situation. Abortion is almost like talking about capital punishment. That has always been one of those most stickiest subjects. It's always been very, very sticky. But I will say this, people better wake up and be more responsible at this point, because now you can't get rid of it. All the states done locked it down, shut it down. There's nowhere else to go. So if you have a wild night with somebody and y'all didn't take the proper precautions, y'all got to live with it. Y'all stuck with the decision at this point. I'm sad about it. And someone's rapping him, the kids wouldn't get anything. I agree. I agree with that. I've been said it does make no sense. He has too many kids. He's not giving all them kids his undivided attention. Them kids don't get to see him all the time. All those kids are spread all around, all throughout the states. He got to go and see this one, go and see that one, go and see. It's just, oh my gosh. That's what I say. It's not a black woman's problem. It's not a black man's problem. It's called an ignorant person's problem. You got black men and black women up here not protecting themselves, not being responsible. But as soon as the grit hit the fan, everybody want to play the victim. They don't understand why this way or why it's going that way. What you do right now is going to pretty much dictate your future. As a grown man, you got there, you raw dog the wrong woman right now, all because you don't like condoms, or as a woman, you don't like birth control. Just keep in mind, whoever you have a child with, you're going to be stuck with that person for the rest of your life. I don't care if you can't stand them. I don't care if you never loved them or kept for them like that. Once a child is conceived, unless something happens to that child, y'all both are stuck with each other, whether y'all want to be or not. 11 kids. Yeah, you know what, Donnell? It's funny you mentioned that. He sure did. I remember the rapper Shorty Low. He did. He left this earth, and it make it so bad. Donnell, his passing wasn't like something that was foreseen. Like for instance, we all are aware of Nick Cannon's lupus battle, but Shorty Low was a healthy guy, and he still died in a car accident. He left behind 11 kids, and I think he had like 8, 9 baby mamas or something like that. Yeah, he left all of those children behind. And I remember he was going to have a reality show once, but the people got so mad about him reality show, like, no, this is a bad depiction of black men and black women, so they was able to shut the show down before it started. But yeah, see, people don't think about stuff like that. Shorty Low left 11 kids here, and his death was unforeseen. He was in a car accident. That's what I'm saying. Nick Cannon's not understanding. Like DMX died of an overdose. DMX didn't see that. Shorty Low passed away. It's a lot of people who died and left behind multiple children. Only thing I can say is that hopefully he got a trust, like somebody mentioned in the chat earlier. But if he didn't protect his penis, I can't see if he's going. I can't see him protecting his children. Hopefully he got that much sense. Absolutely. But yeah, y'all, this is definitely, we chopped it up. We talked about a good bit. I want to hang out and do this live stream with y'all because, again, I haven't went live in so long. And most of the things that I've been uploading has been pre-recorded shows. And I think that every once in a while, it's important as a content creator that we reach out to our subscribers. We check on y'all, and, we let y'all hear us, live, and not get so comfortable with just sitting behind the mic and just uploading videos. Sometimes you got to interact with your audience and let them know that you're well. And, as a content creator, we got to check on y'all as well, because subscribers, y'all like family to us. So it's imperative that we check on y'all as well. So that's why I decided to go live tonight, just to reach out to y'all, because I see all of y'all as family. I definitely appreciate all of the Cash App, the donations. I really appreciate that. Those of you who couldn't donate, but just the fact you came over here to show your support and hang out in chat room, I really appreciate it. I got different ventures that's going on. I'm starting my tumbler company. A lot of y'all know that's what I'm doing on the side. I make customized cups. So if anybody interested in me making customized cups for a baby shower, weddings coming up, bridal showers, cups for the guys. I even do bachelor's cups, you know, pimps cups, all anything, customized cups just as a special gift, as a special token, because sometimes people just want to feel good about themselves. So get them a nice cup, nice something, you know, to just kind of go along and keep them moving for the day. So, you know, I'm doing that. I got that project going on. Also, I am still selling cable, 9,000 channels, only $25 a month. You have to have a Fire Stick. You have to have 30 megabytes per second. If you got cheap internet, your cable is going to suck. It's going to be a waste of time and money. So if you're serious about cable, make sure you got good internet reception, or it's going to be trash. I also sell hair oil for women. Remember, I got 18 herbs in my hair oils. I custom make my oils. I get all of my ingredients imported from Germany. I'm doing that. I also got beard oil for the guys. All you guys who got beards and facial hairs, I also make beard oil for y'all as well. So, you know, I'm a black woman. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to make it happen. I'm trying to make my money. In a good way that's also an asset to all of you all as well. So again, I appreciate all the donations. I appreciate y'all rocking out with me. Y'all support me and everything. Oh, absolutely. I would definitely be safe and everything. So y'all definitely, before you leave, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure that you subscribe. Again, y'all, all of the content creators that don't get all of the shine and don't get all of the recognition, keep keep showing your support to those who you know are not getting the numbers and the support that they need to get. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. It's been awesome, y'all. Y'all gonna hear from me again soon. Until then, I got to catch up on a couple of things or whatever. So in the meantime, again, I appreciate everybody for hanging out with me. I thank y'all for all the love. I thank y'all for everything. It is your girl, your diva, in knowledge, Lady Mocha, represent Mocha's Cafe de Paris. Well, I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. Y'all be blessed. Take care.